Brawlic ReSolution, warming up with Ari. Okay, 3 parts to our warm-up. We start with foam roller to increase the blood flow throughout the muscle tissue, spread out any of the connective tissue. If you worked out the day beforehand, you need something to help kill some of the soreness you got going on. This is a great way to do it. We always start with our IT band here with Ari. Basically, we're shooting for tendon to tendon, meaning we're kind of trying to go basically from joint to joint, stretch the entire length of the tissue. The IT band is a band that runs from about the hip past the knee. Then we'll move over to quad. We all pretty much know what our quads are. Okay, I mean he's going to be going from hip to knee, getting the whole thing. One thing to remember here, you can see he's going one leg at a time right now. You can use 2 legs, but he's using one. That way he can kind of guide how much tension he's using at a time. Some people are a little too sore to kind of lay their whole body on top of it. So this way you can kind of gauge how heavy you are on the foam roller. Right now he's getting his adductor or his groin, inner portion of the leg. Once again, going from hip to knee. May look a little funny, but who cares? It feels amazing. Right here, thoracic spine, middle 12 vertebrae of your back. He's going to go a little bit lower. His lumbar's kind of aching a little bit too. But anyway, he's going to try and roll this by spreading his back apart. The way he does that is he brings his elbows forward, helps the foam roller get a little deeper. Putting the elbows forward, now he's going to roll around the foam roller. Spine mobility, it's not an ab exercise. Once we finish that, we go to bar variations. So this portion of the warm-up, he's going to start with an overhead squat, getting nice and deep. He has a snatch grip or a wide grip on the bar, keeping it behind his head. Toes a little bit out. Good stance. Take a glance there. See, toes are slightly out. He's getting nice and deep. He's not focusing on pushing his butt back. He's just dropping. Next, we'll go alternating lunge. Pushing back with that front leg. Make sure the front heel is down. Make sure your back is straight. We got all 90-degree angles here. Knees, perfect. Back and forth. Taking his time, keeping that chest up. Once he finishes with those, now we're going to go to lateral pops. Okay? Back and forth as if you're coming back and forth underneath a piece of rope or a fence or whatever. Trying to pop up and down on either side of that. This is good lateral movement for the hips, loosening that up.
Good, let's get some
Moving more towards the hips now. Curtsy. The key to this is getting that back knee past the stationary heel. As you can tell, that's what he's shooting for. Chin's up, chest is out, back is straight. Perfect. Taking his time. This is a great way to stretch out the hips.
Good. Okay, now you're going to go with
all right. Now, snatch balance. He's going to drop by pushing the bar over his head and dropping into a squat. Great for the shoulders. And once again, as much time as we can spend on our hips and legs warming up, because that's what we spend the most time on when we train. Perfect form. Straight up over his head.
Good. Okay,
beautiful.
Now go to the RDL into
now he's going to finish with an RDL variation. So he's going to round his back a little bit. That's fine. Okay, we're trying to stretch out the posterior chain, but as you can tell, he's keeping his elbows in and he's snapping them over his head. Bam. Okay, total body warm up right there. Shoulders, hips, low back, hamstrings, and glutes. Perfect. After he's finished that, we're going to then move on to his specific training. So his warm-up specific stuff, part 3 of the warm-up, midsection and push-ups are something that we like to focus on with Ari right now for 2011. So we're going to do a lateral flexion exercise right here, oblique, keeping the bar over the head with that snatch grip. And as you can tell, he's trying to keep his head perfectly in between his hands. You don't want to just move it back and forth because that puts the focus on the lats. We want the focus to be on the obliques. Helps with the mobility of the hips, mobility of his lats and his shoulders, but also obviously his oblique strength. Putting the bar in front of us now, he's going to hold it and he's going to twist. This is dynamic movement back and forth. He doesn't want to stop in the middle. Twisting at the hips as far as you can go each way. And as you can tell, our warm-up is very intensive towards the hips, the shoulders, because we focus a lot on that in our training, more so than most. And you know, it's vital that this is warmed up. And then we're going to finish with push-ups. These are important for Ari, and he's become extremely good at them, obviously. Once you're warm, you're ready to roll. Let's get to day one. Time to get busy.